Hello and welcome along and welcome back to Charwell. Today we've got quite a busy day and it's one of those single job days, but if we can get it all done in this day, it's going to move us forward really well. Now you might notice we have minus 1,865. Yeah, that is not a good place to be in. So we are going to be borrowing some cash in order to do this next thing. And what we need to do today, I will show you, is, as you can see, all of our fields are actually in pretty good nick. They're all fairly well fertilized. We do have one field that needs quite a bit of lime, field 45, but we had an early issue with that. Otherwise, everything is in great condition. Some of it is final stage fertilization, but most of it is second stage. Field 41 has this big area in the middle that's going to need 2 more fertilizers, but that's fine. We've also got some weeds kicking about on both field 45 and 41, so we want to get rid of those in the next couple of episodes. But in general, we're pretty good. All of our crops are growing nicely. We've not really got any areas that have failed to grow, so that is all good. But yeah, we need to get some fertilizer down. So that is what we're going to be doing today. To do that, we're going to need about, 40 to 50,000. So we are going to borrow 50,000 at this point. There we go. So that takes us up to 48,135. And that means we can head to the shop here and we can look at getting some crop protection technology. Now, we've got the Hardy Mega Sprayer here that's 35,000. That holds more than the Kuhn PF 1500 and 1302 MTA combination. That would be 38. Yeah, that would be... I think actually that would be 2,800 versus 2,200 for 35. Or over here we have for just about 29,000. We have the same as this Hardy would hold. So I think we're going to go with the Amazon. We're going to get this. It holds 22,000 litres. We do have the variable spray rate, so we should be doing well. And yeah, I think this would be a good pair of bits to get. We're going to have to put some care wheels on our tractor as well, on our JCB. So that should be fine. So buy those two. But this both keeps the price down, gives us a good capacity, and also means that we should be able... Oh, I've left that on. We should be able to get round a couple of fields and do well with that. So yeah, that is where we're going with that. Now, what I haven't bought, of course, is any spray. So we're going to get a pallet or 2 of that. Now, the best pallets I've found for spraying, I don't know if... Yes, I do. I have them enabled here. Are these. Fertilizer bars, 1,500 for £1,200, which is a lot better, as you can see here. 3,000 for 2,000 litres. So these are by far the most cost-efficient way of doing this in the game. For 3,000, we can get way more fertilizer. So we're going to buy 2 of those to get us started. There we go. And then we can always come back and refill if we find it's different. But of course, as I was saying a moment ago, what we also need to do is just pull this into here. And this is one of the advantages of our farmyard being where it is. We don't actually need to have a workshop at the moment. So let's customize this, and we're going to switch to the Trollborgs, and we're going to put the narrow tires on it. So looking like that and looking great. So customize that. It will cost us nothing to do that. And look at that, some nice thin care wheels on here. This will now mean that we can get through our crop and do and basically do no damage to it, which will be absolutely brilliant. So we're going to hook up our sprayer. Now the best way to do this is going to be to bring ourselves around the back here and hook on to the front bit first. To maneuver with the rear first would not be such a great way to go. And then hook onto the back of this as well. And we need to make sure all of our pipes and everything are hooked up. So yeah, that looks like our PTO is hooked up. Yeah, PTO is all hooked up. Cables are all hooked up, and as you can see, in fact, let's just reconnect this. We have a cable going down the side, so that is all hooked up as well. So that is brilliant. Switch to raise our rear tank. Switch to our front tank, and we'll fill that up first. Get some ballast on the front of our tractor, like so. And then once we've got that filled up, we'll just pull alongside with the rear tank and do the same with that. That might need unfolding. I don't know, actually. Will it need unfolding? No, it doesn't. That's good. Now, I don't know if we've taken yet. So we've emptied the first tank. There's 1,500. And then we will just fill up the second tank. Fill up from the second tank, nice and full. And we're going to set our variable spray rate. We've got it set to 300. I'm actually going to put it up slightly. I think 400 is a much better way to do. So we are going to increase the spray rate, which is K. And just take that up to 400 litres per hectare. And yeah, that should give us a nice spread across our crops. Now, yeah, we do have GPS on this tractor. Just checking quickly. We might as well start with field 42, actually. Work our way round our fields. And yeah, this should be quite easy. And as you can see, this is why we have the care wheels on here. We have quite a lot of growth on our fields at this point in summer. So, yeah, it becomes quite an important thing for us to do. So, close the gate. We're going to line our tractor up. And this edge here is pretty good. I think we might try and spray the edges first. Fairly good reach on this Amazon sprayer. It's not a massive sprayer. But it's a pretty good one, especially for the size of farm we've got. I'm still actually surprised on Charwell with what we started with, how much space we do have, how much we, how many fields we are running on here. This is the most fields I've run on a farm in a while, I think. And as a result, it just means that by the end of this first year, by the time we get through this summer and get to the harvest, we are looking at having a really, really good amount of crops around the farm. And when we actually come to do the pigs as well, we're going to have enough stuff in here to do the pigs, and hopefully enough money as well. So yeah, let's continue on with this field though. Crack on with the headland, and then maybe we'll see where we're going to head to next. Coming to the end of the headland. Should be good once we just pull around the end here. Yep, there we go. Now stop that and just pop out. I think we'll try and... oh, wow. We've just missed... There's a tiny bit across the bottom here we've missed. So just pull across that. Make sure we cover that. We are still at 87%. So let's head up the field here. And what we should be able to do is set ourselves a good spot here. That we just set that. Oh. Set that going. And hopefully set that again. Set that on. And I'm hoping I can auto width that. Yep, brilliant. And there we go. So we are now onto our GPS course. which should keep us out of trouble. And because we have that headland, we should also be in a good place with that. And that will just then now keep us on this nice straight course. That means that we are in a good place and get the rest of this field done. We are down to we've got about 80% left on our fertilizer, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm very pleased. This is going to go quite a long way with this variable spray rate mod, which is part of the reason why I really quite love it. You see, that then was a bit misleading. I thought we'd overlapped. We had not. So yeah, I'm going to continue on with this, and yeah, we will come back in a minute. We will see where we are at the end of this field, and we can move on to the next one. Last little bit. I think we've got the bit at the corner there. Oh, maybe not. I just want to sort of double check that. But we're down to 73%. Not bad. Yeah, we have covered the whole field. So let's bring this in. And then what we can do is I'd like to finish up on field 41. So we're going to head out this corner here. And head out up to the entrance to field 42, which is at the top. Hopefully, there might be a way for us to get in this way, but we'll go and have a look. Yeah, if there's a nice gate at this sort of corner of field 45, that would be really nice. I don't think we do. No, there is no gate down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to head up the side of field 45 here. We'll get it on the way back. And instead, we're going to go and do our other small field, field 44, which is the next one we gain an entrance to. And then we're sort of driving down the middle of the two fields, which is the thing. And this, of course, this is our other cornfield. So yeah, we're taking on our two cornfields first. There we go. But if we can get all of this spraying done today, this is going to get us in a really good position. The next thing I want to do, so what I'm probably going to be doing next time, is I want to get the poplars planted. Now, lots and lots of people have been saying to me in the comments that poplars are a crop that regrows. So I'm intrigued to see that. If it does, then taking it out of rotation is going to have been a good plan and a good idea. I think we might want to. I don't know if it's wise to. Let's set a GPS up the side here. There we go. But yeah, poplars are. I think are a good crop. Partly because they regrow, as lots of people have been telling me. So we're going to put that to the test on here. We're going to try that out. It is going to be a winter crop for us. And we're going to put it into our two grass fields. So we're going to do some. We're going to do it straight into the grass. See what effect that has, and hopefully we will find that we get a really nice, good crop of poplars off there. Yeah, if we do that, we'll be good. I don't think planting poplars in grass is a particularly great way to get a huge yield off them, is my only worry. But at this point, they are the two fields that are available to us. So yeah, that's the thing. As far as getting the most out of the rest of our rotation, I think we're doing pretty good at the moment. So yeah, that is pretty much how we're going on this at the moment. Okay, last little corner of this to complete, and there we go. Now I just want to check our two fields at this point. So we'll head over here. Nice bit of game save, and yeah, both 42 and 44 are done. And that's taken about, what are we down to? 56%. So, we're going to head down, and I think the next field entrance we get to is probably, well, it's a toss-up between fields 43 and 45. I'm looking at the two fields we've done, and I'm thinking we're probably a similar, or we're probably going to want to do the smaller of the two fields before we do a refill. And I'll see, we'll have a look in here again. Now, there's, to be perfectly honest, not a huge amount in it. I think whatever happens, we are going to have to refill. I think we're going to end up refilling probably twice more. Before we can complete this. Just going to pop across here, close this gate. There we go. So yeah, definitely looking, I think, at filling up twice more. I think that field 45 may be slightly smaller, only because it has this island in the middle. So we're going to go and attack field 45 next. And that should be a good field for us to set up our GPS on as well, because the angle is a little bit weird, but we can set ourselves up quite nicely with it. So we'll unfold this, come out here, and what I want to do is turn snap terrain angle off. So make sure that's off. Auto with that, which is correct. We're not showing lines. We've got headland mode off. Now we could stop it at the headlands, but I'm gonna leave this here. And yeah, that should be pretty good. That should work pretty well for us. So we want to line up along here. Make sure that we get our line good. Set our point A. Start off this, and then this will define us across the whole field, which is not a bad thing at all. It should mean that we get some nice, straight, easy, easy spraying across the whole field. And if we do it the whole way down this side, it should give us a sort of a worked out nice straight line along the whole thing. I'm hoping it won't go based on the starting direction of the tractor, because we have turned ever so slightly. Now I want to get it to stop. I want to get it to change this direction, or set this direction just before our next bit. So as we get just past this bush here, that is where I'm going to set it, because as you can see, our field starts to curve around at that point. So with that set, that should then allow us to do the rest of this field. So what I'm going to do is I'm then going to go and finish the rest of this headland off, and we're going to go and see how successful that GPS course setting actually was. So coming back to our starting point now, and I can see a change in the colour. So let's deactivate that. Bring this round. Set our course, and see how well this performs. So we seem to be doing pretty well. Now there are a couple of spots on this field where it won't show. And that is simply because it seems to be that we've got there's been a bit of weirdness early on, and I can see it on the side here. So I'm going to set this going on cruise control, and yeah, you can see down the middle of here we've got some that's already done, and we've got a little bit on the edge here by the looks of things as well. So yeah, it's a little bit of an oddity, but it does mean that the field is still fully fertilized. And we're actually in a really good way. We are on to the front tank at this point. We have 700 litres left, and so we're in a position where that is going to become a thing in a minute. There we go. I'm going to slow that down so that our turning works. Whoops, a lot better. Let's take this up to 10 miles per hour, which is good for our turning. And yeah, now we can just sit back with the GPS and just spray the rest of this field. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we should be able to get away with not having to refill this before we finish this field. I think after this field, it is probably going to be wise to do a refill. But right now, we're motoring along quite nicely. This is going to be close. We are into the last 80 odd. Yeah, we're into the last 80 litres. We are into the last little bit of the field as well. And yeah, it is ridiculously close. Can we... Oh, we've probably got one, maybe two more rows to go here. They're not particularly long rows, but as you can see, we are down to like the last 30 litres here. And it's just, this is way, way too close for comfort. I'm looking at this. Oh, it is just, it's pretty much just this width. 12, 11, 6, 5, 4, 3. Right, that, I think, is going to be good enough for us to complete. Let's have a look here. Yeah, we've got a tiny patch there. We've got a tiny patch there. In general, I'm pretty happy with that, actually. So we're not going to worry about catching this little patch where we've run out at the bottom here. It does mean that the yield in that corner will be slightly less. But this is what it all comes down to in the end. Is maybe if we have just a little bit of... fertilizer left over, we might go and do that patch. We might go and get that. But to be honest, it's not a huge issue. Yeah, if we have a little bit left over, absolutely, let's go grab that little patch. If we don't, then it's no big deal to leave it as it is. So we're heading back to the shop now. We are out of fertilizer. We are going to buy another set of barrels to complement the 800 litres that we currently have sitting down here. So we're going to put those 800 litres into our front tank straight off. And while that is refilling, so let's load up the front tank. So refill that. We are going to go and purchase some more. There we go, fertilizer barrels. So buy that. So that's another 1,500. That will take us over the 2,200 litres that we can take in this. And those have come up over there. So yeah, 1,500. It's going to leave 100 litres spare. But that is fine. We can use that towards the next one. And there we go, 2,000 litres we are filled up to, and then we'll just switch back to the front tank and refill that. So, another 2,200 litres, we've got 100 litres, I think it's just 100 litres left in this here. Yeah, there we go, we've got, oh, it did tell me, yeah, 100 litres, which is absolutely fine. So we're going to head back up to field... what are we up to? Field 43, and get that spray jet. I'm actually, do you know what? I'm really, really pleased with how our crops are looking at the moment. They are looking absolutely fantastic. We've got some weeds in 2 of our fields. The rest are currently weed free. So at the moment we only need to spray 2 fields with weed killer in order to cover that. So that is not a big deal. We got 1 field that hasn't germinated yet, but we were kind of expecting that. It's the one we actually only planted it last time, which is why I'm so happy it's actually got 2 stages of fertilization on it already. Now, which is going to be our best way to do this field? 43, I think the straightest edge is this one here. So we're actually going to do a counterclockwise run around this one instead of a clockwise one. So unfold this. And once again, we're going to set our GPS from this corner. I'm actually going to make sure that we are all the way onto this field this time, though. There we go. About there should do us nicely. Let's start it up. Let's set our first waypoint. And yeah, let's head along this edge here and hopefully get a nice, good, straight run. And yeah, you can see actually where it's got that third stage already here. It's done that. But as I said, nice long, actually, so like with the last field, we want to get a nice long run along here. Make sure that we set our GPS properly. And we're actually wasting a fair amount of stuff on that. But there we go. We've set our GPS and we now can go and get rid of the rest of this headland. So that we can get stuck into the main body of the field. And I think this is our wheat or our barley. But yeah, whichever it is, it's looking healthy. First, headland is done. Let's line this up and see if we can see how our line is compared to the headland itself. Looks pretty good, to be honest. We're running. You can see down the sort of the right hand side there the darkness. And actually, that's a better angle. The darkness we're running against is the headland. Is running really quite well, pretty close to it. Near enough for me to say that is going to cause minor problems at most on this headland. The thing that surprises me is we did one headland 77%. In fact, yeah, one headland and one row, we are down to 77% on our fertilizer, which is wow. I mean, that just says so much of the size of this field in comparison to the first one we did, in comparison to field 42, where we used like 30% of the fertilizer on that, and we've almost already used that on doing the headland and 2 rows on this. So, yeah, we are going to continue on. We're going to get some more of this field finished. And we'll see whether we make it all the whole way through this field. Or whether we're going to have to go and buy another set of barrels before we finish this. Which would be immense. So coming up to the end of field 43. And yeah, I think we've got pretty good coverage here. We are, if we have a look here, yeah, we've got this thin slither up here. I think we should go and probably try and cover that. Trouble we've got is, as you can see here, we've got this large area that is already triple done. So I just want to, yeah, and you can see it's this thin slither just up there. I think that's probably got it, to be honest. Let's have a look. So turn that off. Yeah, that has got it. So we're going to bring this in. Get our beacons on as we head back. Now, we've got 600 litres left. I don't think that is enough. It's our 2,200 litres that we start with. That is, yeah, that is about a quarter, nearly, yeah, just over a quarter of our stuff. So what I'm going to do is something I said I'd do earlier, only if we had a little bit left over. We're just going to pop up this corner bit and get this last little area done. And therefore, you know, we got a little bit hanging around. We should be okay. I was thinking of doing it at the end, but to be honest, we might as well do it now. So yeah, it's just this little bit here. And covering this off. And this just means that this field now will give out the maximum yield that it possibly can. We'll just check where we are on the map. Yep, it is straight in front of us. So forward, and we should see this bit go dark. Which I think it has. Have we got that? I think we must have got that. Yes, we have got that. I'm not going to worry about the bit on the headland. We don't need to do that. But just getting that little bit was bugging me. And now we can head back. And we'll head back to the shop. We'll put in the 100 litres that we've got. And, oh, that should... It's going to get us close. I think we only need one more. I think we're going to need 2 more barrels to complete this. But I think we're only going to need 2 more barrels to complete this. The 2 fields we got left are smaller than field 43. It's going to take about, yeah, I'm not even sure actually if we're going to need 2 barrels. Well, I don't think we're going to need 2 full barrels is what it's going to be. So let's head back to the shop, refill what we've got left, and then pick up a new barrel's worth. And get cracking with that. So into here. And maybe we can also pick up either a small fertilizing mission contract. Or we might even be able to... well, we could do our grass fields as well. You know, those need doing because we're going to be planting stuff in them. So details and buy. Yes. Okay. Back. And back. This is not going to completely fill our... I don't think it is, but we'll see. This one certainly won't. Wow. Oh, yeah, it's taking it from the other one. Which is interesting. I think we need to get closer with this. No, that is taking it from the other set of barrels, but taking it into the front tank. So let's see if this works. Yeah, now that the rear tank is closest, it's filling that. I thought that was odd. But we, as I said, we should be... Oh, wow, we're going to be pretty close. We are within 100... We're within sort of 20... I think it's going to be 18 litres short of full. Yeah. So that's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. Not too shabby. So we're going to head back now over to field 31. And we don't actually need the care wheels on for this. This field is newly planted. It may not even, as a result, actually, it may not even take this fertilizer. We may find that we have to come back and do this field later because it's newly planted. But we'll see if it takes it. We'll see if it does or it doesn't. All in all, though, I would say this has been a pretty successful day so far. That is looking rather dark. So we will try this field first. If it doesn't take any fertilizer from us, then we will just head over and get field 41 done. Thankfully, we've got a nice open gate here. So let's fold out. There's a nice ground texture on this map. It really is. There we go. Oh, it is going to take it. So, yeah, I'm going to do this headland. And then I will set up my GPS and we can go from there. Bonza. Coming to the end of the headland, and I've already set my GPS. I set it on a little bit further round. So we'll turn this off. We'll head up to full speed. Keep going around the headland here. And I'm going to start on the far side of the field so that we work our way back. Now, it's much easier doing this in cab on this field, because obviously this field has... I'm going to go one over. This field has a... already has the... we can more easily see the ground on it. Sorry, this is where I'm getting at. Now, we set the GPS at the far side of the field, so we've got a small section here to do, like so. But that has done that. We're down to 81% at the moment with this, which is, again, it's interesting because it puts us in a position where, there we go, where we're looking at this and going, well, this is going to make it through this field. It's not a huge field. It's not as big as field 43. So we know we should have enough to do here. If we can end up... Well, we ended up with about 500 litres last time. So if we end up with like 600-700 litres, we know that we're going to have enough to get through field 41. Purchasing just one more barrel full. So that'll be good. Should do us well. Let's see if we can line this up, get this started. Yeah, missing as little as possible because I can see at the top here we've sort of gone all over the place a little bit, so we need to sort that out. But yeah, let's knock this field out now. Field 31 seems to be all lined up, seems to be all working well, and seems to be spraying well. Let's get it knocked out, see how much we have at the end, and see if we need to buy one more set of barrels. I will be surprised if we don't. So we're coming up to about 900 litres left. I think we've probably only got one more row. If it drops below 700 litres, which I don't think it's going to off a single row, then we would fit the entirety of another set of barrels in here. So as a result, I think we're actually going to end up with a little bit left over in some barrels, as well as filling this up. Now there's if we didn't have enough of a full thing to do to sort of hit half on this field, we are definitely not going to be able to do it on the next one. So let's just stop this here and have a look at our spray setup. So that is field 31 covered, just field 41 to do. Now field 41, we absolutely need to get that spray today. And that is purely because of that patch in the middle of the field. We'll need to go back and do that again, but there's only about one more growth stage left for that field. And that field needs to A, have 2 sets of spray done in the middle of it, and B, have the herbicide done in it. Now we might be able to get there's an old trick with FS19 that I've mentioned a couple of times before, where if you spray fertilizer, spray herbicide, you can then spray fertilizer again because it resets the fertilizer state. I don't know if that works in seasons, to be honest. Yeah, it's something I'm not really willing to put to the test. So let's get one last pallet of fertilizer barrels. I do like these fertilizer barrels. They are absolutely brilliant for this. And we know we can take... we'll fill up the front then. Like so. And then we'll fill up the back. Like this. And this should mean... that we have a full set of stuff to have one final field to do. Field 41. It has taken the entire in-game day to do this. I mean, it is 25 past 6 in-game at the moment. But getting this all done today means that we get to apply a single episode to it, a single video to it. Small point is that this field here has an entrance here. We have used it before, but quite a useful little entrance that if you're looking to get around this. Now I had the snap terrain angle on for the last field. We're going to turn it off for this one. We're going to try and get Probably going to try and get the right angle down this side here. So we'll see how we go. Turn it on, and away we go. And yeah, I think we're going to... Yeah, we'll get the right angle down this side here. We're going to put it off the field a little bit. It actually seems like snap terrain angle might be a good idea on this field. But let's set this. And away we go. It's pulling to the left slightly. Oh, I wonder why it's doing that. Headland is done. There we go. Right, so we're going to back up here, and we have the GPS set. So we're going to bring it back round to this point, and I want to just zoom out quickly. You can see that we need to sort of fill in a little bit at this corner, because if we don't go and fill this in, we end up with no overlap or no setup, and gives us all sorts of problems. So do that there, and then we're going to back it up, bring it over to here, and set our GPS one final time. And that is going to get onto this line here. And while we've got an overlap with where we've just been heading up the field, it will sort itself out. And if we put this on cruise control, you can see that we are on a line now that will just start to fill this in. And yeah, look at that. This is our last field. This will all be done, and then it will just be this section in the middle of field 41 that will need sorting. If we flick back out and flick back, yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I am so pleased with what we have achieved today. So let's crack on. Let's get this done, and then we can check out the fruits of our labour and finish off as the sun sets. This is our last full run on this field. We're coming up to the top corner, and you can see we need to go a little bit further just to get this last little bit here. But we've got a triangle down the bottom of the field that needs catching. So we just want to head out this way a little bit, and hopefully, if we can avoid catching our sprayer on the wall, we should be able to pick up our course about here-ish. There we go. I'm going to turn on because we do have plenty of fertilizer. And you can see here we've got this little strip here. And then we've got one more strip there. And then it is just literally this bit in the centre of this field here. Now 83 and 19, 29 we have decided we're going to build our farm in. 83 and 19 we are going to at some point have to put some fertilizer into, because well, we need those fields to be good for our poplars. At the moment they're fine. At the moment they are all good, and in fact we should also be good. Let's have a look. Has that covered? Yep, that is pretty much covered field 41. Yeah, it is 25 past 8. That is all of our fields done. We've managed in a single day to get around everything and get it all sprayed. We are going to have to send some fertilizer around it, but we'll probably do course play on that while we're getting our poplars in. For now though, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.